Hi everyone, I just want to walk through briefly where to go and what to do in order to post for each weekly assignment in the discussion area. And I'm also going to go over the discussion post rubric so that you have an understanding of the expectations, though definitely I want you to spend more time looking over that information on your own and reading through it, letting me know if you have questions. Just like in the previous two videos, the first on the syllabus and the second just generally about where to go and what to do on D2L. This one will contain some information that you'll want to answer, some questions you want to answer and send to me via email. That email is due by Wednesday. Okay, so have pen and paper ready. We'll start just generically with D2L. So you'll see that the collaboration tab I've opened up, and if you go to discussions, this is where you can find your weekly discussions, but again, I want you to stick to the content area, the table of contents, to find everything you need for the week. But just for this example, I want us to use the Q&A discussion area as an example. This is where you can go and just any old questions you have related to the class or just in general that you're willing to post for everyone else to see. I welcome and I urge you to do that here. Oftentimes I get emails from students asking me these questions and I go, oh, they're definitely not the only student who probably has this question. So this is a space for you to go post without judgment. Y'all can answer one another's questions, but I'll definitely jump in there and check this frequently so I can answer any of your questions or concerns. So for the discussion, I'm just going to click on that topic. Here's the prompt. You'll have your weekly prompts, which will look a little different, but this is just an example. So I have my prompt, and even when it comes to your weekly assignments, you're not going to see anybody's responses until you post your own, right? So make sure that you keep that in mind. But for our purposes, we just want to click Start a New Thread, okay? Once you do, you'll enter your subject. Y'all, just put your name in the subject line. That really helps me when it comes to grading and just if I need to quickly locate your response for whatever reason. So if you put your name as the subject, that's really great. You can put your name and then week one, writing journal or whatever the assignment is, but your name here is helpful. In the text box, just type in your response if you're responding to the assignments, or type in your question here. I'm going to reiterate again and again, y'all, if you are doing the weekly assignments, please compose your work in Microsoft Word or in some sort of word processing program. If you're using a MacBook or an iMac, then you might have Pages, right? Just make sure that you're saving that somewhere, because when it comes to your paper or your portfolio, you'll want to have those saved, right? And also sometimes D2L can time out. Sometimes your electricity will go out or your internet connection will go out and you'll lose the work that you've been doing. So I just don't want that to happen. Also, if you're using a word processing program, then you can use the spell check and grammar check features. They're not always 100% perfect, but they're a good place to start. Okay, so you type in your information here. You can change the font. You can do all that kind of stuff. I don't care so much. I love Times New Roman, but I'm not super picky about this. Once you've typed it in, then click Post. And I always encourage you, go back and make sure that you can see what you've posted. Double check that it worked, that it's there, that it can be graded. I can't grade what has not actually been posted, so just keep that in mind. Briefly, I also want to go through this document, which will be posted on D2L. This is the rubric for those discussion posts, and it just gives you an idea of if you're seeking an A grade, here are the expectations, right? If you're searching and you're just kind of, going for a B or even going for a C, these are the different expectations that you need to satisfy in order to get the grade that you want, okay? And it's broken down into different columns. So depending on the strength or the number of points for each of those discussion posts, these are the numbers that are associated. The category, there's content, there's format, there's the UG stuff like, are you following MLA formatting? Are you doing, what you need to do to satisfy some of these kinds of basic requirements? I would encourage you to look at the length. Usually I kind of specify how long the paragraph should be. For regular paragraphs, 4 to 5 sentences is good, but when you really need to support your ideas, include quotes or something like that, we need, probably 6 to 7, 5 to 7 sentences to satisfy those requirements, okay? So just take some time to look this over. As always, let me know if you have any questions or concerns, or if you see any mistakes, which I have been known to make before. So help me out and be my second, third, fourth, fifth set of eyes because I have looked at this way too often. Okay, so those are just generally the requirements for those discussion posts, which are a lot of what our assignments will be. So it's really important that you know where to go, you know what to do and how to post, and also what those expectations are. So really take some time to dig into the rubric and let me know if you have any questions, okay? So my question for you to answer in the upcoming email is going to be, where can I find that rubric? Okay, that rubric that I just walked through, that I just showed you, that's going to be posted again in your week 1 area, for this week, but it's also going to always be posted in the content area. Okay, so if you go to content, right? Ooh. If you go to content, then in the overview area, that's where I will include it. So in the overview, if there are things there, you'll be able to find that as well. Okay, so something to keep in mind, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Take care.